Good afternoon, guys. It's Stephen from Upper Reach Winery, and I'm here today to do Upper Reach's first ever virtual wine tasting. So today is going to be all about Verdelho, so make sure you've got a great glass of wine next to you, sit back, relax, and we'll learn a little bit about this amazing varietal. So, Upper Reach Winery, we really pride ourselves in making one of the best Verdelhos in the Swan Valley, and it's commonly said that, our Verdelho is one of the best Verdelhos in the home of Western Australian Verdelho, so we're very lucky in that regard. Now, off on the background, talk a little bit about the Verdelho, then I've got three lovely wines here that I'm lucky enough to try. I'm going to be starting off with our pre-release, straight from the tank, our 2020 vintage of Verdelho. I'm then going to be moving on to our 2019, our current release, which I know is a lot of our favourites as well. And then our museum release too. So 2014, it's got 6 years of age on it, and it is a really beautiful little wine. I enjoy it a lot. And afterwards, the third section, as we sort of wrap things up, I would love to hear some questions from you guys as well. I'll try my best to answer them. Pretty much, hopefully we'll have a lot of fun. So grab a glass of wine, sit yourselves down, relax, and let's talk about Verdelho. Now, Verdelho is a Portuguese white varietal. And basically, there's a bit of a sort of confusion as to Verdelho versus Verdelho. Now, Verdelho and Verdelho, they are two completely separate varietals. Verdelho was actually first planted in Madeira in Portugal, and Verdelho is commonly planted across Spain. And that actually goes into making the Vino Verde as well. So a really great wine just to give a try if you ever get a chance. Now, going back to Verdelho, so it first came to Australia in the 1830s actually, and it was first planted over in the Hunter Valley. Now, they had some real success with it. They thought it was a great varietal, really easy to work with, and it grew phenomenally, and the fruit was just beautiful. So it very quickly came over to Western Australia, where the first plantings were actually, they were planted over at Hortons just down the road. So, and that was planted around in 1836. So we've got quite a history with Verdelho here in the Swan Valley. Now it's a very versatile varietal as well. So you can actually make it in a sweet style, which is something that we're all very familiar with when we think of Verdelho. You can make it in a dry style, like what we do here at Upper Reach. But you can also turn it into a liqueur, so a fortified style of wine. So the best thing that we can really try and, the best thing about Verdelho is its versatility. You can do so much with it. Pretty much what we found was when we first planted it here at Upper Reach, so we actually planted it in two separate blocks. So we planted the first block about 15 years ago, and we planted the second block 10 years ago. And both of those blocks are very similar in style because they're in the same style of soil as well. And they really just allow for some beautiful aromatic qualities to come through in the wine in the end product. So it's a really great little, varietal to work with. And luckily enough, I was able to help out during vintage with the 2020 and the 2019 vintages. So, they get you working like a dog, but it's great fun. Really is. I would recommend it. But and Verdelho is really, the way that we make our Verdelho here at Upper Reach, there's a real strong kind of, a winemaking secret, I should say, really. And the real secret towards it is just a very long and cold fermentation. Now, what that actually does is it retains the fruit purity in the wines, and it allows for all of those beautiful aromatic and tropical fruit character to come through in the wine. So hopefully we'll be able to find that with a few of these wines we've got here today. And just based on the rich history of Verdelho, it's really become one of the heroes of the Swan Valley, as well as Chenin Blanc, Grenache, Shiraz. They're all very just unique varietals for the Swan Valley. So we are very, very lucky here. Pretty much, I mean, yeah, like being lucky enough to have taken part in these vintages, I mean, you realize that Verdelho really needs to have a hot climate. Like it needs a real nice Mediterranean style temperature to really ripen properly and to gain a lot of those fruit character in the wine. And yeah, it's just a really, it's a really great fun thing to do. So I really hope you've got your glasses ready because we're going to move on to the tasting. So I'm very excited. I'm going to be responsible and I'm going to have to spit it out because I'm driving home later. You're welcome, Mum. And pretty much, yeah, I don't recommend doing that at home, so you guys just sit back and enjoy and drink a glass of wine. If you don't have the Verdelho on hand, sucks for you, but I mean, if you get any style of unwooded white wine, if you've got one that is slightly older, then we'll be able to talk quite well about the museum Verdelho. But if you've got a dry style unwooded wine, then the first two will be able to find some similarities between the two. Now I'm going to start off today with the 2020 vintage of Verdelho. Now literally it isn't even in bottle yet, I just had to get this from the tank and it's still got a nice cloudiness to it as well. So let's give this bad boy a go. Now I'll give you a couple of tips when you're tasting wine. What you really want to do, and this is what we try and cover really well in our wine appreciation classes here at the winery, liking and disliking a wine is completely different from appreciating one. Now the best way that you can appreciate a wine, first of all, you need to make sure that you're swirling it. Okay, the best thing you can do, so basically the reason why we swirl the wine around the glass is every single drop of wine has so much aroma to it. And it really allows for a great bouquet to come off of the wine, and especially with a wine glass like these with a really nice bowl to them, it'll capture all of the beautiful fragrances that are coming off the wine and you'll be able to experience it much more. Now, if you're not happy swirling in the air like this or you've had a few too many, then I recommend on a flat surface, hold the stem like you're holding a pencil and draw circles on the piece of paper. That's all you've got to do, just to make sure you're getting those beautiful aromas out of there. And when you're tasting as well, I want you to try and use it like mouthwash. I know it sounds weird, but you need to get it to every little nook and cranny of your mouth. So just make sure you're getting the most out of the wine that you can. So now the 2020, when we picked this, it was 40 degrees outside. And I know right now it's 39 degrees and I am very, very toasty right now, but pretty much it's super hot out there. You need a lot of sunscreen, you've got to wear a hat, and a lot of hard work and effort goes into these wines, and you can really tell, like I can smell this wine from here. And that is all down to that long cold fermentation as well. So let's give it a little sniff. Now, I'll try and describe it as best I can as well. Ooh, that is super tropical. Ooh, that is a beautiful little wine. Wow, it's so intense. Like, I mean, I can literally smell it from here. I don't have to look around at all for those fruit characters here. So, you get pineapple, passion fruit, there's a lovely kind of lime note to it as well. Nice little sort of guava character to it as well. It's just a beautiful little drop, I must say. So now for the exciting bit for you, not so much for me, but let's give it a taste. Oh. The acidity on that is absolutely stunning. So my mouth is watering right now, and that is a great indication of acidity. You can tell it like that. And also acidity really gives you a good indication of ageability of a wine as well. So when I taste this wine, it is just really full flavored. It's still lingering. The flavor is still on my palate right now. That is a beautiful little drop. So more of a kind of there's so much passion fruit with this wine. There's so much. Like, I really am looking forward to you guys trying it. Now, the release date for this one, it should be, we're running quite low on our 2019 Verdelho, so it wouldn't surprise me if the 2020 is bottled and available within the next month or month and a half. And yeah, like, when it's out, I'll email you all and make sure you come out and try it, because it's absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, lucky me. Happy days. Now, let's move on to the 2019 vintage. So, this wine is very, very special to me, because this is actually this was the first block of grapes that we actually got to, and we got stuck into at vintage. So, it was my first vintage. I wrote a whole blog on it as well. It was just so much fun. Like, there's so many bugs and creepy crawlies out there, it's not even funny. It is like way too much for a British guy to deal with, so it was really good fun, I must say. But back to the wine now, so let's have a little sniff of this one. See, now that is much, much different. So this one, now I remember over the sort of Christmas period in 2019, this one was really, it was quite a mild summer actually, and that really came through in the wine. So generally, if you've got a very hot growing season for your wines, you're going to gain a lot more tropical fruit character in your white wines. But because this one had a bit more of a milder season, those are actually set at the back now. Those aren't really jumping out of the glass like they were with the 2020, which was very, very hot. But this one is just much more subtle. It's got like a subtle tropical note to it, but then primarily you're talking beautiful citrus. That guava is still there as well, but it's also got a lot of floral character to it, like white flowers or elderflower as well. It's a beautiful little wine, very, very nice. Now this one, like, I mean, it's Easter. These wines are specifically chosen to go beautifully with fish, any kind of white meat as well, and also quite fragrant curries as well. Like, I mean, each one is going to suit something very, very different. I would, yeah, just, you've got to play around with your food pairings. They're really good fun. And like, especially these, anything like prawns, shellfish, Verdelho just goes absolutely beautifully with them. So let's give the 2019 a taste. So let's give that a go. Again, still like, it comes across much more tropical on the palate than it does actually on the nose. And that's the beauty between like the consistency in the vintages. Like, you know, if you're going to get a Verdelho from Upper Reach, you're going to get those tropical fruit character in what you buy. So it's a great little thing. Wow. So again, that beautiful mouth-watering acidity. We're talking this time a lot more like gooseberry, lemon lime, citrus, lime peel. Yeah, it's just a really refreshing little wine, I must say. No, it's a brilliant little drop. I do enjoy the Verdelho, or I wouldn't be working here. So, but it's a great little drop. Now, the main two differences between, I think, the 2019 and the 2020. 20 is coming across much more tropical and very much more aromatic on the nose for me. The 2019, a little bit like more subtle, very just a delicate style, but very intense of flavor as well. So they're both just stunning little wines. I'm very excited for you guys to come to the cellar door after all this is over and taste this. It is a stunning little wine, I must say. Alrighty, and now for my favorite part. So we're going to taste our museum release. Now, generally when white wines age, what happens is they're pretty much, they start to develop these toasty characters to them, like they've been in oak. They also gain color, so they become a lot more golden and a ton richer as well. Very, very just complex on the palate as well. So we'll give this one a go and we'll see if it stands true. let's have a go at this. So, now this one is 2014, so this has been in the bottle for 6 years, and that has really given it a great amount of age. Absolutely stunning. Well, that's my favorite. Wow, that's beautiful. So, it still has that beautiful pineapple character coming through. Not so much the passion fruit or the green apple, but it's just much more toasty. Like it's even got a kind of butterscotch character to it now. Very intense with flavor as well. Again, I can smell it from here. It's a very pronounced style of wine. And it's very strange, but it's got this kind of note. It is very, very odd, but like toasted banana bread. It's really strong with that for me, but I mean, you guys try it and you see if you can get it as well. It's a great little wine, wow. Now let's give it a taste as well, because that's the main thing that matters. I'm very jealous that all of you are drinking now instead of me. Very jealous indeed. Oh, it's much more creamy. The acidity is just softened out beautifully, I must say. And that really does come with age, and like a partial thing called malolactic fermentation as well. Like it happens very, very slowly with an aged wine as air gets to it and it starts to oxidize in a very, like in a good way. And you start to get those creamy textures. But yeah, like pineapple, so strong, and like, even like if you pop pineapple on the barbecue, it's just really, really yummy. It's just, that toasted banana bread, it's so strange, but that's the main thing that comes through for me. So like, that's amazing. Oh, they are beautiful little wines. Now, I think food pairing wise, I mentioned it briefly before, but I'll just go over it again. So I think with the 2020, because it's got such intense flavors. When you've got an intense flavored wine, you need to pair it with an intense flavored meal. In all honesty, I think that would actually stand beautifully with like, say like Moroccan spiced prawns or something like that. It would really hold up against that. But mainly we're talking shellfish, fish, white meats as well. You can pair like white wines with red meat. You can pair like white meat with red wines. That's no worries at all. But generally, because it's got so much of that tropical character coming through with it, I think it would definitely suit shellfish like prawns, definitely. Now get onto the 2019, I think that one would probably suit something a bit more creamy. It would kind of cut the creaminess a little bit. I would honestly do that with something like a nice, let's have a little think. I'm thinking risotto, like a nice creamy risotto, possibly with some chicken in it, even asparagus or peas, just to really like mix that up a little bit. But that is a very tasty little wine. But then going to something as rich as the 2014, this one for me, it can only go with like one thing, and that is like truffle risotto. Like anything truffly, this will stand up next to it and it will really complement that very well. I did enjoy a nice little truffle risotto, like a chicken truffle risotto with the 2014 Verdelho a few weeks ago, and it was absolutely stunning. So I totally recommend that. But yeah, wow. It's amazing the difference over time between the three. They're just, yeah, they're like completely different wines, but they're made in exactly the same way, that long cold fermentation, picking them nice and early so you retain that beautiful acidity to it. But also just, it's amazing, yeah, just especially between these two, how you can actually taste the difference in temperature between the 2 years. That is just, it's very, very cool. You can geek out on wine like me, it's completely fine. We're in a safe space. Now, I think pretty much with this tasting, like what we've discovered is like Verdelho drinks beautifully when it's young, but also like it drinks surprisingly well when it has some age to it as well. So like, say if you're buying a case of wine, if you're buying a case of Verdelho, keep a couple of them back, hide them from yourself. I mean, you've got to hide wine from drunk you anyway, so you just got to be careful. But hide them away, and I think you'll be really happily surprised at the end result with it. But yeah, I think it's a wonderful little thing, and when the cellar door is back open for tasting, I urge you to come by and give these wines a try. They are absolutely beautiful. I reckon we'll try our best to answer a few questions now. I mean, I'd like to think that I've covered a few things, but let's have a little look. So, when will the 2020 be available? Thank you, Claire. So the 2020 will be available, I would say, in about a month and a half's time, I'd say. Just a really, yeah, we've got to pretty much get it into bottle. We've then got to run out of our 2019, which is happening quite nicely as it is. But yeah, I think if, as a club member, you'll probably get it in your next case at midwinter. So that will be really good. Let's have a little look. Lol to hide. Yeah, I know. You have to hide the wine from yourself sometimes, especially the good bottles. No, were there any other questions at all? Always happy to answer. If I can't, then I'll ask Laura. Let's have a little gander. So, some great food recommendations. Thank you, Naomi. That's very kind. There we go. Oh, fantastic. Definitely make sure that you come in and try the 2020. I will try and flick out an email whenever I can, just to let you know when it comes out. And that will be really, really great. But let me have a little think. Oh, thank you, Tina. That's very kind. Let's have a little look. It's only telling me a few. So I think the best conditions for aging the Verdelho, I would probably say, like, you need to keep it. The main thing is temperature fluctuation. You can't have it in a place where the temperature is going to change too much. You need to really have like a set kind of 16, 17 degrees. But I mean, the thing with it is, like, as long as the temperature isn't changing too much, you're in a good space. I mean, a good little tip, if you've got an empty esky and you pop that in a, and if you pop that under your stairs, that's a really good way of keeping your temperature. But yeah, I think another way, you've got those wine fridges that are around as well, but I mean, they are super expensive, so I just use the esky technique. But yeah, no, it's really, really good. Alrighty, let's have a little look. Oh, hi Joanne. Let's see, so, how long would I hide a bottle of 2019 for? Now that is a really good question. So I think, just based on the 2014, and I still think that that has got quite a long way to go. I think you could drink that in another 4 years. So bringing it up to sort of 8, 10 years of age, really? Oh no, 10 years of age. So I would probably do the 19, I'd aim to do it between 2026 and 2029. That would be my kind of, my guess. But that's the great thing, if you're buying wine that you're thinking about aging, if you do buy a few of them, you can always just kind of, yeah, just really like pick one out every now and again, see how they're traveling. It's the best way to do it. So yeah, I think aging Verdelhos and aging white wines is something we definitely need to do more of, especially if we like more of those complex flavors as well. So let's have a little look. Oh, thank you again, Tina. Oh, and Douglas, that's very kind. Oh, and Tina, congratulations on your dissertation. Yeah, so one of our wonderful club members has handed in all of her hard work, and yeah, everyone's very proud of her. Now, yeah, I completely agree with you, Jeff. I mean, I think the 2014 does have quite a way to go, but between the 2019 and the 14, I think that difference is just astounding. So it's just, yeah, I would, if you're buying a 2014 Verdelho, I'd test yourself and try and keep it for a few more years. But yeah, it is drinking beautifully now. I mean, yeah, I'm very sad to be wasting these, but yeah, someone's got to drive. And let's have a little look again. Fantastic. Yes, I know truffle risotto is really what we should all have on the menu tonight, isn't it, Paige? But yeah, I think especially in the times that we're in at the moment, like your support is like so special to us. If you do get a chance to come out and visit us, we'd love to see you. We have actually got a nice little offer on free shipping if you want us to send the wines directly to you. Obviously a lot of people are isolating at the moment, so that's a great little option, so you can get free shipping on a dozen. But in all honesty, I want to know what you guys want me to taste next week. I mean, we've got Chardonnay, I can do a rosé tasting if you like. I really want you guys to make the decision for me. So have a little look on our website. If there's any wines that you think, oh, actually, I've never had a chance to try that one. Leave it in the comments below and I will definitely try my best to do one for you because, yeah, I thought this was really good fun. And like, it's so lovely to, yeah. And then, oh yes, the Shiraz Renee. Oh, international shipping, Joanne. I know. It is, yeah, unfathomably expensive as international shipping, but the next time I come and see you, I will definitely bring some. Perfect. We doing the black brim white, Francis? But yeah, the black brim white, that's got some Verdelho in it as well, so that's a beautiful little drop to go for. A really great pairing with anything spicy, any like Thai curries, that kind of thing. Really great to pair with. Yes, Claire, I love your suggestions. Tempranillo, like, please. You know, we only have 90 bottles of the Tempranillo left. So if you love the Tempranillo, I'm sure you do, make sure you get your hands on some of those. So based on some of the comments that we're getting, I think we all kind of like the more rare styles of the more rare varietals, like the Tempranillo, the Grenache. They're both still Swan Valley heroes as well. They're very popular here in the valley. Yeah, I might do like a little mixed red one. That kind of seems like a good little plan. I mean, if any Chardonnay drinkers want to watch me like get very excited about Chardonnay, then that would be a great thing. But yeah, completely up to you guys. We'd love to hear from you. But yeah, I just want to give, really great thank you to everybody for joining. I'm going to do another one next week, so if you do have any ideas on what you'd like me to taste and what you'd like me to talk about, I'm more than happy to do that for you. So yeah, I mean, stay safe, happy hand washing. Oh, we got one more. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Claire. But yeah, and definitely, yeah, just stay safe out there and I will see you the same time next week. So thank you so much again, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.